Three, two, one, scene. Hey, David, great to be back on your show again. Happy Friday to you. Got the Friday shirt on.
Yes, you do. Very nice.
One thing that keeps coming up, I know that when I hear you speak, you talk about being in the telecom space. Is there a way that you can dumb that down for people that are watching your show here? I think the immediate reaction that I get when I hear that someone is in the telecom space, I think a lot of us think of old Cat 3 copper wire, rusty
Mhm.
old wire under buildings and in our walls and rotary phones, push button phones, all that stuff. So take a minute if you would please to explain what on earth somebody like yourself does with Carrier Support Group in the telecom space.
Well, David, thank you so much. And as always, good to see you. Telecommunications, we dumb it down to say telecom a lot of times. Okay, the technical definition is the exchange of information over significant distances by electronic means and refers to all types of voice, data, and video transmission. Wow, that really simplified it, didn't it? The-
Telecom. Okay, there's one word for that.
so, I mean, we got so used to it. I've been doing this over 30 years. And really, what we all started doing back in the day was helping people with their phone lines, whether it was analog phone lines, copper. Then all of a sudden, this thing came around called DSL. And we were all super excited because before that, we were dialing up with AOL and all these different dial-up services. I'm sure some of you remember that. Then DSL came along, and everybody was super pumped about
Sure.
the possibility of. Oh, wait a minute! Before that was ISDN.
ISDN, that's right.
ISDN lines. That was the big killer, and then
Yeah.
we all got excited about that. And then DSL came along, and then pretty soon it's T1 technology, which is also copper based, connecting lines via PRIs and voice over single copper connections. And
You're going to
we would,
lose some of your viewers with all these buzzwords,
I
but
know,
I
it's all
remember all
boring.
of it very well.
But basically, companies need to connect to the public switch network somehow. And there's lots of ways to do it. And today there's even more ways. You talk about fiber all the time, but essentially you've got to run your voice, your data, your video over some medium and connect it to the world out there, which we call the public switch network. And there's so many options for people to do that, right? They can do it with 20 different providers. You get AT&T and the Cox and the Spectrums and the Lumens and all the different carriers out there in the world. And so there's all these different products, and technology has changed. So they might not have what they traditionally was an old PBX sitting in their closet. That technology seems to be going away as people go to voice over IP, phone systems that run over the internet, now Teams, Zoom, all these other kinds of products and services. So we advocate for our clients what to choose, how to choose it, and what providers they need to use that will give them the best bang for their buck, cost effective, highest technology at the best price.
Terrific. Thank you for explaining that to me, David. I actually didn't think that telecommunications included video. I actually didn't know that. And I never knew where the line, all the lines have been blurring. I didn't know that
Yeah.
VoIP actually was part of telecom, but it all makes sense. And I
Yeah.
enjoyed uh, the history lesson. Yes, I had, a Hayes 300 baud modem in like 1980-ish. I don't know, somewhere around there. I remember all that, and I think in War Games, that movie with Matthew Broderick was the first
Oh,
time we saw somebody take a a handset and plug it into the old
Yeah.
um, modems that way too, the old ARPANET systems.
That was an
Anyway,
awesome movie for
it
that. That
was.
was
It was.
kind of the start.
Anyway, appreciate you taking the time to explain that. Now, for the viewers who are tuning in, what is the best way to get in touch with you?
Well,
How
our
best
website,
do you want people to engage with you? Go to
well, our website,
carriersg.com.
carriersg.com is a great source. You can see a lot of what we do there and our information's there, or you can just reach out to me at daveg@carriersg.com. That information will be on the end. And thank you for that. And what about for Crush Networks? Tell them about how to reach out to you.
Sure. Well, crushnetworks.com in the US. We also have .mx down in Mexico, and we best way is to contact us through that. We have our number to our team's switchboard is listed there, and it'll route to us in sales or to me directly or to our help desk, whatever people are interested in engaging with. I appreciate that. And the other way to, catch Dave or I is in person at an IAMCP San Diego chapter meeting, which take place monthly. We typically do a meeting in a building with lunch from noon to 2, and then go out for a happy hour afterwards.
That's
Or we do a lot of social events. So who knows? It might be a kick golf, might be a bowling, might be, on a ship out in the Marina, San Diego Bay. I mean,
yeah,
you just never know with this group. It could be
good stuff.
go-karting. You just never know. You just never know.
Why don't
Anyway,
you why don't you quickly plug your event that's coming up in Mexico City?
oh, absolutely. Thank you, David. On Thursday, November 2nd, right during Dia de los Muertos down in Mexico, we are hosting a free technical training event, both English and Spanish speaking, down in Mexico City in the downtown area, the Reforma area, right in the heart of the action for Dia de los Muertos. And that event, you can find out more about that by going to communitydays.org. Look
Hmm.
for Mexico City, and we hope to see you there in person or online. It's going to be great.
That sounds like a fun one. We're going to try to make that one ourselves. All right,
Oh,
David. Thanks, buddy. Have a great week.
thank you. Talk soon, friends.